The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball, featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Marius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
It is West Virginia State Class AAA High School Boys Playoff Basketball. We're in Region 2 and Section 1, and this is the championship game. The winner will not only claim the sectional championship, but will stay home next Tuesday in a regional state qualifying game. Tonight's loser not eliminated, but they'll have to go on the road next Tuesday, still with a chance to advance to Charleston. On the other side of the region, over in Section 2, Washington is at Jefferson tonight. We'll have some scoring updates from that one as the winners and losers there meet our winner and loser from this one next week. Well, for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Matt Crawford. John Alderton still out sick, so we've got Zach Van Meter running our camera tonight. Welcome back, Zach. Eric Sterick is our engineer back at the studio. Matt, a nice crowd already on hand, about 20 minutes before the opening tip in this one. Should be a good one. Martinsburg comes in winners of 6 in a row. They're 19-3. Hedgesville has won 3 in a row. They're 19-4.
Yeah, and you look at those 4 losses, 2 of them coming against the Martinsburg Bulldogs. And this is a Hedgesville team. I mean, you can look at both of these teams. These are 2 of the premier teams across the entire state, and trying to be the 2 representatives here from this region to go down to that state tournament. And luckily, this is not an elimination game in this case, so one of these teams is not going home. Might still have that opportunity to lose tonight and go to that state tournament if they get a win next Tuesday. But a premier matchup not only in this section but across the entire Mountain State tonight. Looking forward to this one, and we have had 2 good regular season games before this one between these 2 teams. The last one out at the Gilbert B. Miller Center, a single-digit game that you look at Hedgesville, and they had it within 1 point 2 separate times deep into quarter number 4, and it was a turnover in the offensive end or a missed shot that led to a quick transition bucket for Martinsburg, and the Dogs were able to hold on. But Martinsburg without one of the big players again tonight for them, and that is Dorn Smith, still battling that knee injury, just a few days out of surgery. Talking with Coach Rogers, that they're lucky enough to make it to the state tournament. We could possibly see Dorn back, but it's not going to be before they go to Charleston if Martinsburg is lucky enough to make it to that state tournament. So Hedgesville, a good opportunity tonight where Martinsburg is a little beat up, and we'll see if they are up to the challenge tonight. It should be a fantastic one for a sectional title.
Both of these teams were on the floor to open sectional play on Wednesday night. Hedgesville was at home against Musselman in that 2-3 matchup, and it was the Eagles getting the victory 66-56, led 39-28 at the half, and went on for the victory. And for Martinsburg, they were right here at the Fieldhouse in that 1-4 matchup, and the Bulldogs eliminated Spring Mills 65-43. Bit of a slow start, if you will, for Martinsburg in that one, but did get a 31-19 halftime lead and then rolled on for the victory. So that is our matchup. Martinsburg hosting Hedgesville for the sectional championship. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. They provide custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Give them a call at 304-350-1931 or find them online at whmsystems.com. We'll take a break and come back and see what else is going on around the AAA basketball boys playoffs, and we'll set up the girls state tournament in AAA that will begin next Wednesday at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
We welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Both teams on the floor getting in their warm-ups as we get ready for Martinsburg hosting Hedgesville. Matt, let's see what else is going on. We already mentioned the Washington matchup at Jefferson for the Region 2 Section 2 championship. In Region 1, Wheeling Park hosting John Marshall tonight. That's the Section 1 championship, while Morgantown is at University for that Section 2 championship. Wheeling Park, Morgantown, University, all three teams that have been very highly ranked all season long. Only two of those three is going to get to Charleston.
Yeah, and you look at Morgantown and University, and those looked like they were going to be two marquee matchups in the regular season, both not really playing out the way you expected. We haven't seen University in person this year, but has been the perennial number one throughout the entire season, coming off of the win in the state tournament last year against Martinsburg in that championship game. But that is, if you take away Region 2, Region 1, I think hands down the best region in all of AAA basketball this year. So unfortunately, one of those teams not going to make it, and it's going to be a very good basketball team that's not going to make it to that state tournament.
Meanwhile, over in Region 3, Section 1, George Washington is taking on St. Albans for that championship. In Section 2, Beckley Woodrow Wilson versus Princeton. In Region 4, Section 1, Parkersburg is at Parkersburg South. And in Section 2, Cabell Midland, the team to beat as they entertain Spring Valley. Again, the sectional winners stay home to play the loser from the opposite side, and those will be the regional finals next Tuesday, and then those winners will be the ones to advance on to the state tournament at the Charleston Civic Center. By the way, that girls' state tournament actually gets underway next Wednesday, so we are getting ever closer, and we could see that in the intensity level of the Martinsburg practice as we were here getting set up for Miller time earlier.
Yeah, Coach Triggs not overly happy, I think, with the effort given by his players in practice. Just, again, we weren't down there, but kind of observing everything, and I don't think he was overly excited about the way that they were putting effort in practice today. It is going to be a tough one against the Fighting Jim Justices, a team that it was a bad loss earlier in the season.
73-48.
So he knows that they don't want to see that same fate on the statewide level at the state tournament, so they're going to need to bring their A game, and working hard at practice this week, but looking forward to that girls tournament.
All right, so here's the pairings next week. On Wednesday morning in the 2-7 matchup, Beckley Woodrow Wilson against Morgantown. Then on Wednesday evening in the 1-8 matchup, Parkersburg gets Spring Mills. The Cardinals 11-14 heading to the state tournament. Coach George Gosk has them playing their best basketball at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've had a chance to see them twice this year, covering both of those Martinsburg Spring Mills games, the way that the scheduling worked, and we have seen the Cardinals get better throughout the season. The game right here at the Fieldhouse, not a pretty one, and it was a very competitive game, and we were up at Spring Mills later in the season, so we've seen the Cardinals able to slowly get better, and like you said, playing the best basketball at the right time of the season.
All right, next Thursday in the morning game, it's the 4-5 matchup, Cabell Midland against University, and the night game at 7:15 in the 3-6 matchup, Greenbrier East against the 6-seed Martinsburg Bulldogs. The winners will play in the state semifinals next Friday, and the AAA state championship in girls basketball will be next Saturday. Well, there you go. A look at what's going on around the playoffs. Stay tuned. We've got a 1-minute break to take, but on the other side, we'll hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers, get his thoughts on today's matchup against the Hedgesville Eagles. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
We welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, where the Martinsburg Bulldogs get ready to play the Hedgesville Eagles in the AAA Region 2 Section 1 Boys Basketball Championship game. Martinsburg coming off a win against Spring Mills in the opener on Wednesday. That's where we began our conversation with Bulldog head coach Dave Rogers. His thoughts coming out of that victory.
Well, I didn't think we were very aggressive the first half. I didn't think that we really got out and got after it. We did the second half, and you saw what happened. But again, it's sometimes players play to what they're playing against, and the bad thing is that everybody's dangerous. This is a time of year where if you have a mess up or you're not ready to go, somebody can raise their head and knock you off.
It was a tight game early on, but you were able to pull away. What did you see from your team, especially on the defensive end?
Well, I thought we played defense. I thought we gave up too many threes in the first half, and we played good D the second half. I just think Spring Mills coaching staff does a wonderful job. He's brought that team along. They're young, and he's trying to instill his program. But with that being said, again, they're our opponent. You got to advance and move on.
Moving on means tonight you get the Hedgesville Eagles' third matchup this season. Two really good games during the course of the regular season. What do you learn from those as you head into this one?
I don't think it's going to be different than that. It's going to be a good one again. And, they've got 8 seniors. I keep preaching that, but seniors mean something. And, they've got some guys that can shoot it. They got some guys that can take it to the hole. I thought we did a good job up there when we played him up there defensively. Don't know what we'll see out of them tonight, whether they'll change anything up. But, you just got to go with you just got to go what's got you here.
What is your concern about the depth on your team right now without Dorn Smith? That kind of puts you maybe a little behind the 8 ball.
It does. I mean, instead of having a 6-man rotation, we're down to a 5-man, and we've moved some people on. I mean, I think Jarvis Thurston can go in there and give us a little spelling time. And, we just got to be smart, play with our feet on defense, stay out of foul trouble, do the right thing at the right time, and as long as we can keep our guys on the floor, I feel okay.
First time you met here, you kind of got your style of game. You score 71 points. Out there, they kind of got their style of game, held you guys to 48. Do you see this one going one way or the other?
Well, I think we're better when we get the ball out and run the ball down the floor, and that's why our goal will be to get it out and run. But again, the game will dictate how that goes. I think our kids this year have done a good job when they can run. There's been games we had to grind it out. The Musselman game, we had to grind it out. So I think they've been through the war. So even though this is not an elimination round, you certainly want to win this thing and play at home Tuesday night.
You'll look at the 2 games, and Telrin Villa got in foul trouble in the first one and didn't score a ton in the second one. Are you looking for him to have a breakout game?
Well, I like to see him have a breakout game, and we had some other people that didn't shoot the ball well up there, but did some great things on the defensive end and set us buddies up. And so, again, we have to go play. We have to play hard. We have to play smart. We have to do the things that we know we can do to make us win.
Dave, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
And there you hear from Martinsburg Bulldogs head coach Dave Rogers, his thoughts heading into this matchup tonight for the sectional championship as the Bulldogs play host to the Hedgesville Eagles. We'll take another 1-minute timeout. When we come back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, we'll welcome Matt Crawford back in as we take a look at our keys to the game. It's West Virginia High School boys playoff basketball on Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Welcome back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. We've got Zach Van Meter running our camera tonight. Get well wishes again out to John Alderton. Continues down with that flu bug. For all of you who may be watching tonight because you're at home with a flu bug, we hope you feel better too.
And thank you for staying home.
Yeah, because it has been going around, no doubt about that. Eric Sterick is our engineer-producer back at the studio. All right, time for us to get into keys to the game. They're a service of Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Matt, first time these teams met here at the Fieldhouse, 71-61, Martinsburg with the victory. Second time they met out at the Gilbert B. Miller Center. Martinsburg got the win, but closer and lower scoring, 48-42. What are the keys tonight?
It's going to be the exact same key for both teams, and that is get consistency from your big players. When you look at Martinsburg for Teller and Villa, just to combine 14 points in these two games, 5 in the first meeting right here, 9 out at Hedgesville. For Teddy Marshall, a solid 22 in the first game, but only 7 out at Hedgesville. When you flip over to the Eagles, Evan Hoseby, 23 points right here at the Fieldhouse. That game out at Hedgesville, a goose egg, 0. Did not score. Javen Wilmer, 21 here, only 11 at the Gilbert B. Miller Center. And Sheldon Everhart, he had 10 here and then came very strong, especially in that second half, and finished with 19 out at Hedgesville. So you just look for a little consistency on both sides, and you need your big players to come through in what has been the biggest stage so far. I know not an elimination game, but still, you're fighting for a sectional title. You need your big players to show up, and in each one of the two games so far, it's been 1 or 2 guys that haven't produced the way they have the rest of the season. So that's a key to the game for both teams. You just need your big players to show up in a big game. For Martinsburg, that's going to be Villa and Marshall, and for Hedgesville, you need Hoseby, you need Wilmer, and you need Sheldon Everhart all to come out and have big games.
I'm going to throw in one more, and that would be Anthony Smith for Martinsburg, who maybe has been the most consistent when you look at his numbers.
Yeah, 13 and 10. He's been the only one to average in double figures both times these two teams have played. And on the Martinsburg side, Wilmer in double figures and Sheldon Everhart both in double figures in both matchups in the regular season. But yeah, you look at consistency, and it's been Anthony Smith. And you talk about Smith, not saying he's played bad over the last couple of games, but just not consistent scoring the basketball. He has brought that scoring average down a little bit over the last couple of weeks, back down into single digits at 9.7. He's done a good job facilitating the basketball around and finding the open teammate, but you would like to see him get on the scoreboard a little bit more on this one, because Martinsburg is going to need it. Without Doran Smith, who had 11 in the first matchup and 6 in the second, he was averaging 10 points a game. You're going to need to find scoring by committee, if you will, to fill in for those 10 points, and you're going to need your seniors, your upperclassmen. I know Anthony Smith just a junior, but you're going to need to find those guys off the bench if you're Martinsburg and have somebody else have a big game.
Keys to the game, a service of Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC, locally owned. They know the business and they're part of the community. You'll win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by phoning 304-267-3050. Well, Matt, Martinsburg has won 12 straight games in this series, 20 of the last 22 meetings, including the 2 in the regular season this year. Last win for Hedgesville over Martinsburg, 2014. And by the way, that's the last time this Hedgesville team made it on to the regional and then on to the state tournament. So we'll see how it plays out here as Hedgesville and Martinsburg tangle in this one. Hedgesville's last sectional championship, are you ready for this? 2011. It was 2009 when the state of West Virginia went to its current system where the sectional championship was no longer an elimination game and 2 teams from each region could go on, including 2 from the same section. Hedgesville's been able to benefit from that, but that last sectional championship would have come in that 2011 season with a 56-43 win over then Washington in this section.
And you look at benefiting from that 2-team format, I was able to get Hedgesville or put them on the way to winning a state championship.
That was in the 2012 season when they finished 23-6, got that state title win over George Washington, 33-32. Hell, a good crowd on hand for this one, and the starting lineups ready to be introduced. Let's take a look at those as well. A service of D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Give them a call at 304-267-4078. The Hedgesville Eagles at 19-4 have won 3 in a row, 8 of their last 9, led by 22nd-year head coach Kelly Church, a record of 380 wins, 126 losses, assisted by Chris Ruest, Kevin Pittsnagel, and Kyle Van Meter. For the Eagles, Ryan Fry is a 6'1 senior guard, Evan Hosby a 6-foot senior guard, Javen Wilmer a 5'10 senior guard, Sheldon Everhart a 6'3 senior guard/forward, and Jamison Matthew a 6'1 senior forward. Now for the starting lineup for Martinsburg, 19-3 on the year. They've won 6 in a row, 16 of their last 17 games, led by 41st-year head coach Dave Rogers, 784 wins, 123 losses, assisted by Bruce Fowler, Richard Moore, Chris Berg, and Daryl Smith. For the Bulldogs, Trey Sager is a 6'3 junior forward. Telrin Villa is a 6'3 senior forward. Garrett Stobbs, a 6'1 junior guard. Teddy Marshall, a 6'2 senior guard. And Anthony Smith, a 6'1 junior guard. Lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is the best policy, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. Yeah, give them a call. That's D&N Auto Specialist, 304-267-4078. Now we heard Coach Rogers bring it up. Hedgesville with 8 seniors, Martinsburg just 2 seniors on this roster.
And what he said, seniors mean something, and they do. It's called experience.
Yep, we'll see how this one plays out. As the junior ROTC presents the colors here, we send it back to the studio as we pause for the playing of the national anthem. We're back in 2 minutes with the opening tip and the play-by-play of West Virginia High School boys playoff basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back-and-forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
February means Valentine's, and Valentine's means sweet deals all month long at Apple Valley Chevy Toyota in Martinsburg. Get a 2020 Toyota Camry XSE with up to $4,050 off MSRP. How about a 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD off-road with up to $1,960 off MSRP? Get up to $9,400 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Trax, or up to $9,800 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Equinox. Stop in to to Apple Valley Chevy Toyota on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg today and check out the sweet Valentine's savings. Find out more online at applevalleytoyota.com or applevalleychevy.com, a part of the Miller Auto Group, where it's always a better deal. Price does not include tax, title tax, and processing fees. Savings based on Camry stock number 20T585, RAV4 stock number 20T521, Trax stock number 20C197, Equinox stock number 20C541. See dealer for details.
A great crowd on.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that
you would expect for this AAA Region 2 Section 1 Tournament Championship game. Martinsburg headed out onto the floor, white uniforms, black lettering, orange trim, DAWGS Dogs across the front of those jersey tops. Hedgesville out onto the floor in those gold uniforms with the blue checkers down the sides of the jersey tops and shorts. The Ville across the front of those jersey tops in blue, numerals in blue as well. In the center circle, Sheldon Everhart. He'll tip it for Hedgesville. Telrin Villa for Martinsburg. 3 local officials working this one. Ball is in the air, and the tip goes into the Hedgesville backcourt, where eventually Ryan Fry grabs it.
Teddy Marshall right there, though, trying to poke that one away. He now backs off.
And Hedgesville will work into the offensive end. They shoot at the basket to our right. Martinsburg in that man-to-man defense. Hosby out top with it, driving in on the angle right side, and we have an offensive foul, a charge, as Anthony Smith able to draw the foul. Evan Hosby, the 6-foot senior guard, with the game's first.
Anthony Smith just inside the painted area on the low block, saw Evan Hosby driving down hard, set those feet, said, "You're going to have to go through me." Did a good job playing defense. Martinsburg with the basketball. It's going to be Anthony Smith bringing it into the front court.
Smith runs the point. Martinsburg will work against what will be a zone defense now for Hedgesville. The Dogs working from left to right, and now a pass on this left wing knocked out of bounds by Ryan Fry. It was Anthony Smith on this wing trying to get it down in the corner to Stobbs. Now the Dogs inbound, and they'll reset that offense. And a deep 3 from the right side off the rim. The backboard, the rebound, Telrin Villa. His putback rolls around and drops in, and Martinsburg gets the first 2 thanks to an offensive rebound.
Good sign for Villa. Again, the leading scorer for the Dogs has not hit in double figures in either matchup against Hedgesville. Back here at the Fieldhouse in the first match, we got in very early foul trouble. Good to see him getting going early.
Javen Wilmer penetrates into the lane. His floater comes off the back of the rim. Rebound saved from going out of bounds as Villa was able to get it to Teddy Marshall into the front court. On the wing right side, dribbling to his left. He'll get to that foul line and pick it up. He'll swing it around quickly to Villa in the left corner. Thought about the 3 but didn't shoot it.
Oh, if Martinsburg gets up all around the perimeter a little bit quicker, I think Garrett Stobbs is open for 3.
Villa's open from the left corner. His 3 ball is up and good. That's his 13th of the season. And Matt, he's really come to life from beyond the arc as the year's gone on.
Yes, he has. And he shot very, very well on Wednesday against Spring Mills and starting just as hot here in this one. 5 points early. He only had 5 throughout the entire game. The first meeting between these two teams right here at the Fieldhouse earlier in the season.
5-0 Martinsburg. Hedgesville basketball, being patient on the offensive end. Wilmer with it on that wing left side. Guarded there by Anthony Smith. Maintains that dribble as he gets out to the sideline. Now pulls up for 3. Left that short off the rim, and Trey Sager the rebound. And a couple of one-and-dones and a turnover in 3 possessions for Hedgesville.
Yeah, and that was a 4 shot. That's not what Coach Kelly Church is going to want to see. That one, you could tell, not the offensive set they wanted.
Good defense by Hedgesville. Martinsburg working it on the left wing to Teddy Marshall. His deep 3 is up and good. So he missed one from the right side, makes one from the left side. 8-0 Martinsburg.
And Hedgesville needs a basket here. You do not want to give Martinsburg the opportunity to take a 10 or 11-point lead early. See what the Eagles can do here offensively to try to find the bottom of the bucket.
Sheldon Everhart trying to find a lane. Eventually had to give up the basketball. Now a nice feed down low to Jamison Matthew, and the leg up good.
And Garrett Stobbs having to come over, a little help defense, trying to steal the basketball. That pass just getting there a little quicker, and Jamison Matthew puts Hedgesville on the board.
Back the other way, Teddy Marshall from the left wing pulls up for another 3. He knocks it down. He's hit 2 threes in the quarter. Matty's up to 41 on the season. Hosby trying to answer the other way. His 3 good from the left wing. Just like that, everybody's hot. It's an 11-5 Martinsburg lead, and we've got a 30-second timeout being taken by Hedgesville. Let's go ahead, take the 30-second break as well. 4:58 to play in quarter number 1 in Martinsburg, up by 6.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
It's an 11-5 Martinsburg lead. They scored the first 8 points. Since that time, both teams finding a hot shooter to get this scoring going, with now 4 minutes 55 seconds and counting in quarter number 1 as the Dogs work into the front court. Anthony Smith dribbling to the wing right side, sends it back on this left side to Teddy Marshall. He'll get to Telrin Villa, left of the lane, 14-footer off the rim, rebound to Javen Wilmer, racing into the front court down the right of the lane. He banks it up, a little too strong rebound tip, controlled by Trey Sager, Bulldog basketball. Nice take by Wilmer, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, it was a good take, but he's driving 1-on-3. That's a tough shot to make.
And we have penetration into the lane for Anthony Smith. He kicked a pass out in the right corner to Garrett Stobbs, but we have a whistle and an offensive foul as Smith ran over a Hedgesville defender. That is a charge and a Bulldog turnover. So Smith picks up the Dogs' first foul. Each team now with 1 foul, and both have come as the opponent has drawn a charge. So Hedgesville with the ball, still down by 6. 4:20 to play, quarter number 1. Everhart into the front court.
Martinsburg playing a very, very tight man-to-man to start this one. With not a deep bench, you wonder how long they can stick playing this very tight defense in this one.
Everhart spinning to his left as he got into the lane, put up that shot. It comes off the backboard of the rim. The rebound to Stobbs. The outlet to Anthony Smith. Down the floor along that far side to Telrin Villa. Euro step into the lane. Right hands it up a little too strong. And this rebound controlled by Jamison Matthew. Both of these teams pushing it, taking a few awkward shots, if you will. Osby with it on the left side, giving to Fry, and around to Everhart in front of the Bulldog bench on this right wing. Gives a ball fake, dribbles to his left, gets to the foul line, stops and pops. It's off the rim, and the rebound to Anthony Smith. Another one and done for Hedgesville. Smith into the front court, dribbling around the screen, gets into the lane, put it up with the left hand. It's off the right side of the rim, and the rebound to Hosby. Both teams a little cold right now. Fry in front of the Bulldog bench on this right sideline. Puts it on the floor with a left-hand dribble, gets into the lane, kicks to Everhart in that left corner. To Hosby out top, his 3-ball on the way, got it. Evan Hosby with his second 3 of this ball game.
Yeah, Matt, so far every offensive set, they've had Jamison Matthews set a high ball screen and then roll towards the basket. Martinsburg doing a very good job of making sure that even if they're not right on Matthew, they're getting in the passing lane.
Telrin Villa just left of the lane, puts it up from about 12 feet out. It's short off the rim. The rebound to Ryan Fry. Hedgesville the other way, quick down the floor pass. That's Hosby, steps back. The 3 from the left sideline rolls around the rim and out, and Sager clears the rebound. 11-8, Martinsburg by 3. Bulldog basketball. Teddy Marshall on that right side of the floor. Sends back on this left wing to Anthony Smith. He'll fire the 3. It's off the back of the iron, and the rebound grabbed near the foul line by Jamison Matthew.
And he's doing a very good job on the boards on the defensive end so far in this one.
Outlet to Wilmer into the front court. Had the ball taken away.
Out-dribbled himself, Matt.
Yep. I got that as 2 Hedgesville turnovers. Yeah, kind of dribbled himself into no man's land.
Yep.
Well, each team has had some opportunities with this score tied at 11-8, and no one can take advantage.
Right now it is an 8-3 run, though, for Hedgesville.
Garrett Stobbs giving it off to Anthony Smith, driving in on the left side. He lost it on his way to the basket, ends up going out of bounds on the baseline. It'll belong to Hedgesville, and each team now with 2 turnovers.
Coach Rogers saying that went out because he got hit on the hand on the driving the baseline. Not sure where Smith was going to go with that basketball, even if that didn't get poked out of bounds. A lot of gold jerseys down low.
So Everhart into the front court on the dribble, picked up by Marshall, giving to Wilmer along this right sideline. Jamison Matthew comes to set that screen. Here's a backdoor cut for Hosby, and Hosby takes the bounce speed but then runs over the top at Teddy Marshall and Evan. Hosby has his second offensive foul on a charge.
And that is a very close play. Good defense by Teddy Marshall. Thought that left foot may have still been sliding into position. Apparently it was set, so a great job down low.
Elijah King, a 6-foot freshman guard on our roster, number 3. Checking into the Hedgesville lineup as Hosby sits down with the 2 fouls. Bulldog basketball still with that 3-point lead. A minute and a half left in quarter number 1. Teddy Marshall, deep 3 from the right side. It's up and good. Marshall with 3 threes in this opening quarter. 14-8, the Bulldog advantage.
See what Elijah King can do coming off the bench, a 6-foot freshman guard. See what the young fella can do in a big situation here, getting some early minutes.
Martinsburg living and dying by the 3, 4 of them so far in this opening quarter. Wilmer firing a 3 that comes off the rim. Fry kept it alive, but Smith controls. He gets it off to Teddy Marshall. Lob feed down the floor, intended for Telrin Villa, but he couldn't get to it. It's out of bounds.
And you say that Martinsburg is living and dying by the 3. You can say the same for the Eagles right now.
2 of their 3 baskets have been beyond the arc. We've seen only 2 made shots from inside the 3-point line. We've seen 6 that have been made from beyond the arc. And another offensive foul on Hedgesville. This one on Sheldon Everhart, using the off arm to push away the defender. Everhart will pick up his first.
They're just trying to create a little separation. Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church not liking that call, and I haven't seen this many offensive fouls this early in the game in a long time.
45 seconds and counting, quarter number 1, low scoring, 14-8. Martinsburg with the advantage and the ball against the zone defense. The Dogs are going to be patient. Smith with it between the circles.
Do they have the patience to hold for the last shot?
Let's see. Teddy Marshall on that right wing, going to back it out on the dribble. Yeah, I think they do now, as we're under 23 seconds.
A 6-point game right now. If that can be even bigger, then Coach Rogers would take that.
Teddy Marshall on that right side of the floor. Thought about the long 3. They'll swing it around to Stobbs on this left wing. Back out top to Anthony Smith. Down to 10 seconds, down to 9 from that far sideline. Deep 3, good for Teddy Marshall. He's got 4 in the first quarter. Inbounds pass, Everhart from before he gets to the midcourt stripe, shooting it on the run off the back of the rim, no good. That would have counted had it gone, but it did not fall, and at the end of 1, your score is Martinsburg 17 and Hedgesville 8. We're back after this 60-second timeout. West Virginia High School boys playoff basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
It's really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Zach Van Meter running our TV10 camera. Eric Sterick is back at the studio, our producer and engineer. Matt, Martinsburg opened the ball game on an 8-0 run. Hedgesville with an 8-3 run, got back to within 3, but Martinsburg closes nicely with the final 6 points of the opening quarter.
And they'll start with the basketball here in quarter number 2. Over to Anthony Smith now with it on the right wing.
Smith dribbling to his left, feeds down low to Trey Sager, and he'll bank it in off the glass. Good patience by Sager to make that shot.
And finally, a third member from Martinsburg gets on the score sheet. Just 2 in quarter number 1, 5 for Villa, 12 for Teddy Marshall.
Hedgesville the other way. They've gotten 6 from Evan Hosby and 2 from Jamison Matthew. That's been it for them. Everhart on the wing right side, dribbling to his left, cut off by Marshall. Bullets a pass to Fry, driving baseline left side, gets to the rim, puts it up. Oh, rattles around and out, no good. Sager the rebound. Bulldog basketball with a 19-8 lead.
And Matt, I don't think Hedgesville's had a clean shot yet. All of them have been contested either on the perimeter or down low. Good defense for Martinsburg to start this one.
Well, and now Hedgesville switching up into a man-to-man defense. They played zone the entire opening quarter, now starting this second in a man. Telrin Villa beyond the arc on that right side, dribbling to his left, gets into the lane, stops and pops the 10-footer off the mark, and the tip attempt for Trey Sager. It wouldn't go, and the rebound out of bounds on that far sideline, and it goes off of Sheldon Everhart Martinsburg basketball. I think the Hedgesville faithful and the student section right there wanted a foul call on Trey Sager as he was trying to get to that loose ball. Everhart went down, and the ball went off of Everhart. So the Bulldogs with another opportunity, and they'll
change the call. Two refs got together on the far side. They're going to say it last went off of Trey Sager.
Okay.
That's a interesting call to make, considering that other referee coming from just about that midcourt stripe. Not sure how good of an angle he had on that basketball.
So Hedgesville has the ball. In need of a bucket. Everhart deep on that left side of the floor. Again, tightly guarded by Teddy Marshall. Gives to Fry on this right wing. Dribbles to his left, sends to King in that left corner. His three ball rattles out, no good. Trey Sager the rebound. Dogs dominating on the boards right now. Anthony Smith into the front court, around the screen, set by Trey Sager. Puts it up with the right hand, and the 14-foot shot good for Anthony Smith, his first two.
Good take. We've seen Smith trying to get shots to fall the last couple of weeks, just not quite able to do it. And another offensive foul. And believe that's going to be number 2 on Sheldon Everhart.
Nope.
No, Jameson Matthew.
There you go. Yeah, they get the illegal screen on the 6'1 senior Jameson Matthew. And that brings Kobe Bowen, a 6'6 senior, onto the floor. Adam Walls checking in as well. So Hedgesville getting in some substitutions.
Martinsburg has yet to go to their bench in this one. But right now, if they're in condition, no reason to. With a 21-8 lead, they're rolling offensively and defensively right now.
Yeah, the pace of this game allowing Martinsburg to do what they're doing with 5 on the floor. Teddy Marshall on the wing, left side on the dribble, guarded by Wilmer. Around the screen, set by Villa. Gets to the foul line, hesitates, drives, and then Wilmer strips him of the basketball. He'll pass it ahead to King. To the rim, layup good. Elijah King, he gets his first two, 21-10. Martinsburg's lead at 11. Good hands by Javen Wilmer to reach in there and strip Teddy Marshall. Marshall with it on that right side beyond the arc, guarded by Wilmer. He's going to back it out. Look down at the near end of the floor where head coach Dave Rogers hollers out some instruction offensively. Now the pass goes to Anthony Smith on that right wing. Smith started to his right, comes back to his left, gives to Garrett Stobbs. Stobbs will back it out with his feet near that orange M in the center of the floor, giving to Anthony Smith on that far wing. Smith replaces Stobbs as he dribbles out to his left.
Man, I'm not sure we've seen Martinsburg hold the ball this long in the offensive end throughout an entire quarter and a half.
And it leads to a turnover as Garrett Stobbs was passing to Telrin Villa at the high post, and Villa had left that spot on the floor. So in the offensive end, Wilmer going to work it off to a driver down that right baseline, Adam Walls. His shot would not go. Rebound got tipped around, controlled by Telrin Villa. Into the offensive end. He's in a double team. Basketball almost taken from him, but we've got a whistle, and we'll have a foul. And the personal will go on Adam Walls, the 5'9 sophomore guard. His first, team foul number 5.
That's a tough whistle to blow. That's 3 guys right there fighting for the basketball.
Yeah, Kelly Church chewing on one of the officials after that last call, and we'll have a timeout taken by Martinsburg. Head coach Dave Rogers wants a 30-second break. Let's take that break as well. Back in 30 with 4:43 to play in the half, and Martinsburg leading by 11.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're a part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
21-10, that advantage for Martinsburg. They led after one, 17-8, and the Bulldogs have the ball coming out of the 30-second timeout for Coach Dave Rogers. Each head coach has now burned a 30-second timeout in this first half. Dogs go to Telrin Villa at the high post. His turnaround jumper from the foul line off the rim, and Bowen clears the rebound. Villa started hot. He has cooled off.
And he's cooled off from whereas usually his wheelhouse and that quick jump shot from the foul line in has been able to hit those short jump shots.
The mid-range, if you will. Wall with it on the near side, passing far side, taken away by Teddy Marshall. Marshall down the floor, gets to the rim and lays it up and in. 14 first-half points for Teddy Marshall.
And so far, Hedgesville has been trying that drive in and kick out, and Marshall knew that it was coming again. Good job defensively.
Nice drive for Sheldon Everhart, the 6'3 senior, in his fourth year on the varsity level. Made it to the rim and drew contact from Trey Sager. Sager picks up his first, and Everhart has his first two of the game. Now he averages 14 a contest and win in double figures each of the two regular season meetings.
Yeah, 10 here and 19 up at Hedgesville just a few weeks back.
Three-point opportunity completed by Everhart, and there's a good reason. He's an 80% foul shooter, not the guy you want to put at the line.
And that with 3:56 and counting. That was our first free throw of this contest.
23-13, Martinsburg by 10.
Does that tell you a lot of shots are coming from beyond the arc?
They are. Here's a nice dump pass down low to Trey Sager. He passes out on that right wing to Anthony Smith. Smith into the lane, floats it up and gets it to go, and will get a blocking foul. Adam Walls is going to pick up his second, and it's now a three-point opportunity for Anthony Smith.
Coach Kelly Church wondering how Martinsburg can get two charge calls down low and they can't get the same at the other end. I'm with him. I thought Walls had his feet set just inside that foul line, but Anthony Smith will take it.
He's a 69% foul shooter, misses the free throw. The rebound to Telrin Villa, shot blocked by Bowen. Back the other way, here comes Hedgesville. Javen Wilmer down the right side of the lane, and a blocking foul on Martinsburg as Wilmer will go to the line for a pair. That one on Teddy Marshall, his first, and now the team's third. Javen Wilmer still looking for his first points. He had 21 when the teams met here back in January, 11 out there, and he averages around 11 points a game. Hedgesville trying to find some scoring in this one. Evan Hosby hit a pair of threes in the opening quarter. He's got 6 points. Jamison Matthew had a bucket in that first quarter for his two. Elijah King has had a leg up, and Sheldon Everhart a three-point play in this second quarter. That's been it. And Javen Wilmer, a 65% foul shooter, misses the free throw short. Second foul shot this one. Rolls around and drops through. First point for him, and it's a 25-14 Martinsburg lead. Under 3.5 to play in our first half. Anthony Smith open from the right side, fires a three. It is too strong, and the rebound tipped and King controls. Hedgesville basketball, outlet to Wilmer up that far sideline into the front court. Slows it down as Anthony Smith picks him up in this Bulldog man-to-man. Wilmer on that left wing, controlling that dribble. Wants a screen from Bowen. Here it comes. Now Wilmer into the lane, goes to the right hand, and the scoop shot good. Javen Wilmer makes it 25-16, cutting that Martinsburg lead down to 9. 2:44 and counting in our first half. Martinsburg working their offense as Anthony Smith hands it off to Teddy Marshall on the left wing, dribbling back to his right. He'll stop, and from just left of the key, fire that three. It's off the rim. Villa kept it alive. Stobbs got it. Anthony Smith now has it out in the left corner, and Stobbs will fire a three from the left side. It's off the rim, no good, and in the battle for the rebound, Trey Sager hits the deck, and we'll have a whistle and a foul. Foul on 1-2, Javen Wilmer, and that'll be his first.
Now puts Martinsburg in the bonus situation. So going to be a 1-and-1 for Trey Sager.
Goes to the line. He's a 65% foul shooter, 11 of 17. Has not had a lot of free throw opportunities. Puts this one up, and it's off the back of the iron, no good. So the Dogs are 0 for 2 from the line. Everhart clears that rebound. Hedgesville with the ball. Nice possession for them if they could get a bucket. And Everhart from the top of the key fires that three. It's off the rim, no good, and Villa clears the Bulldog rebound. Outlet to Teddy Marshall up that far side. Getting into the lane, underhand scoop shot wouldn't go, but a whistle and a foul. And that foul is going on Kobe Bowen. Bowen will pick up his first. Teddy Marshall with that, I guess you call Euro step, as he got into the
that
lane.
was just a long stride more than a Euro step.
It was a very long stride. I think Coach Church was looking more for a traveling violation than he was
or
for
at least
the
a somewhat
foul.
out of control going to the basket.
Teddy Marshall, an 81% foul shooter. He's made 85 of 105 on the season and puts this one up and through. Matt, he's got 15 points, and it might be time to start talking about it. He needed 29 in this game tonight to reach 1,000 for his career. Misses the second foul shot. He's got 15 points in this first half, and Martinsburg's lead is at 10, 26-16.
So I guess you can call that the 1,000-point watch is now in effect for Teddy Marshall?
It is definitely something to look for as this one plays out. King with it on that left side of the floor, working to Bowen. Trying to get it to Fry, left of the lane, bounced it off of him. Telrenvilla got the steal, but turns it right over as he worked into the front court. Javen Wilmer the other way, floats it up with the right hand. It wouldn't go, but Kobe Bowen's there for the rebound and the putback basket. Nice job by the 6'6 senior to stay with it for Hedgesville and get the buckets.
And that a minute 24 left in the first half. Martinsburg still has yet to go to the bench. It's because right now they're doing what they've done the majority of this first half, slowing it down in the offensive end. If it hasn't been a fast break, we have seen them slow it down and run the offense in the half court.
Telrenvilla has it out top, down the right side of the lane. He gets to the rim. Bowen blocks the shot, and Everhart comes away with it. Everhart into the front court, all the way to the rim. A little too fast, and he shoots it up too strong.
And a little bit too fast. That ball poked away by Anthony Smith, who was coming right in behind him. I'm not sure if Everhart ever really lost the basketball, but definitely had to control it a little more than he was expecting. I don't know if he could feel the pressure of Anthony Smith behind him or not, but Anthony Smith defensively just probably saved a basket for Martinsburg.
Now the Dogs the other way, and it is Anthony Smith to the rim, and he got it over Bowen and put it up and in.
Good defense leads to good offense, right?
28-18, it's a 10-point Bulldog lead. Everhart into the front court for Hedgesville. Let's see if they try to hold for that final shot. 23 seconds left in the half. The Eagles down by 10. King going to fire that deep three from the left side. It rolls around the rim and out, and the rebound, Anthony Smith.
The freshman now 0 for 2 from beyond the arc in this one.
And Smith going to go all the way to the rim. His shot again gets blocked by Bowen. Grabbed by Trey Sager. Looked like some contact, no foul called. Rebound lost out of bounds on the end line. Last touching shot, and Everhart, it's Martinsburg basketball. 6.1 seconds left. Boy, Kobe Bowen has been a force at the rim.
When I wasn't necessarily looking for contact that low, I thought that ball was awfully close to coming back down on the floater from Anthony Smith.
Two officials getting together for just a moment, and now we're ready for the inbound. Garrett Staub's going to trigger it. Baseline right side, looking. Lobs out top where Teddy Marshall's got it. Teddy Marshall from straight away. He'll fire that deep three. Banked it in! And there's a whistle and a foul. Javen Wilmer commits the personal, and it could be a 4-point play for Teddy Marshall.
Wow.
Is he having a game or what?
And Wilmer's going, I don't know what else to do. I'm the one that ended up on the ground right there. Teddy moving towards the basket with that shot, so didn't lean into it. It's just the way his body was taking him. And Wilmer coming in very quickly trying to get that block or at least contest that shot a little bit. Just ended up in no man's land with Teddy Marshall's body moving towards the basket on that three.
The free throw for Teddy Marshall on the way. It is up and it is good. He completes the 4-point play. Inbounds to Everhart, and a shot from beyond that half-court stripe along the far sideline goes off the backboard, no good. And we will go into the locker room at the half with the Martinsburg Bulldogs out in front by 14. Your score at the intermission, Martinsburg 32, Hedgesville 18. We're back after this 60-second break. It's West Virginia High School boys playoff basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Howdy, cowpokes. Do your business cards look like they were designed by a code roper? Well, this cowboy knows the advantage of dealing with folks the old-fashioned way. When you order printed material on the internet, you're stuck with what you get. But when you need printed material to look just right, you want to deal with folks you know. And that's what you'll find at Panhandle Printing and Design. Local folks that have been delivering results for years. They can help with everything from design to production of stationery envelopes, business cards, invitations, vinyl signs, banners, vehicle wraps, and a lot more. They can answer all your printing questions, and you can call them on the phone or hop on your horse and go see them, because they're your one-stop printing shop where they have something for everyone. Panhandle Printing and Design at 124 North Maple Avenue in Martinsburg. Call 304-267-7400. You can even find them online, too, if you want to. If you need printed materials, don't deal with some city slicker you'll never meet. Trust the folks at Panhandle Printing and Design.
Hey, John Orem, I hear you're running for sheriff of Berkeley County. Can you tell me why the community should stand with you?
Sure. You know we're stronger when we stand together, right? When we leave people behind, we suffer. When we work together to solve our problems, we prosper, correct?
True.
I'm for a county that embraces good community values. Let's leave the go-it-alone mentality behind.
The go-it-alone mentality?
Let me explain. A sheriff cannot serve a community effectively without the involvement of the people.
It's time we elect a sheriff that's going to serve our community. John Orem, you have my vote.
Paid for by candidate.
Martinsburg got off to the 8-0 run to start this ball game very quickly. Hedgesville was able to answer. They went on an 8-3 run and were down by 3 at 11-8, but Martinsburg, with the final 6 points of quarter number 1, pushed that lead out to 9 at 17-8. Martinsburg adding to the lead with the first couple of buckets in quarter number 2. They led 21-10. And that's when Hedgesville started to try to mount a rally, but just could never sustain anything as Martinsburg pushed the lead out to 25-14, 26-16, 26-18. And thanks to the 4-point play from Teddy Marshall to close out the first half, their largest lead at 32-18.
And you look at 32 points in the first half for Martinsburg, but I've really been impressed with them on the defensive end of the floor. Not one player off the bench so far for the Dogs. It has been the starting 5 of Trey Sager, Telrin Villa, Garrett Stobbs, Teddy Marshall, Anthony Smith the entire first half, and they've been able to do it playing very, very tight man-to-man defense, and the reason they're able to keep that up defensively is because the offensive end doing something that they don't often do, slowing it down, taking 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds off of that clock before making their way towards the basket or putting up that three-point attempt, and just something we're not used to seeing with Martinsburg. That's more of the Hedgesville style of play, but right now Martinsburg doing it very, very well, getting 32 points, and again, all coming from that starting 5. The only starter not to score in the first half for Martinsburg is Garrett Stobbs, but he's even put up a couple of shots.
Yeah, Martinsburg with a good game plan and executing that game plan so far in this one. And as you said, it really has started on the defensive end of the floor. So Martinsburg with the lead at the intermission, 32-18. We'll have for the score from that Washington-Jefferson game and tell you what else is going on around the boys sectional playoffs in AAA when we come back on our Smallwood Small Insurance halftime show. A 60-second break and then back to the field house. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We are back once again here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, where the Bulldogs have the lead 32-18 here at the intermission. Let's see what else is going on elsewhere around the Mountain State in Class AAA. And over in Region 1 and Section 1, it's Wheeling Park against John Marshall. Section 2, Morgantown and University. In Region 3, George Washington is taking on St. Albans in Section 1. Princeton, Woodrow Wilson in Section 2. And in Region 4, Section 1 is Parkersburg against Parkersburg South. Section 2, Cabell Midland against Spring Valley. The other matchup going on here in Region 2 is Section 2. That's Washington and Jefferson. Matt, do you have something?
Thanks to David Statman of the Journal. Washington up 35-31 at the half. Very fast-paced game. Will Shively of Jefferson leads the way with 11 points, the leading scorer on either side.
There you go. We'll keep an eye on that one as we get ready for the second half of action here. We will come back and take a look at the statistics and a potential watch that may be on in the second half of this one.
I'm not wearing one. Are you wearing one?
No. We'll explain after this. More of the Smallwood Small Insurance halftime after this 60-second break. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We are back again at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. We do have a score from one of the other sectional games, Morgantown and University.
All University right now, 43-24. Again, Morgantown has just really struggled in that battle, in the, the Mohawk battle in basketball. I know it's that for football, right, Mohawk Bowl, but basketball, Morgantown, as good as they are this year, have really struggled against University.
All right, let's take a look at the first half stats in this one, and then we'll talk about that watch we were talking about earlier. The stats brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more at Folk4WB.com. Paid for by Michael Folk for Governor. Individual numbers, Matt.
Individual numbers look like this, starting for Martinsburg. Teddy Marshall leading the way with 19 points. He's also chipped in 2 of those from the charity stripe. He's 2 for 3 from that foul line. 6 points for Anthony Smith. He's 0 for 1 from the foul line. 5 for Telrin Villa. Those coming very, very quickly for Telrin. Just not able to keep up that consistency scoring throughout the latter stages of the first quarter and second quarter.
You say very quickly. He had the first 5 points for Martinsburg.
That would be very quickly, wouldn't it? And then 2 points for Trey Sager. He is 0 for 1 from the line. For Hedgesville, leading the way with 6 points is Evan Hoseby, and then a whole lot of players with just a bucket. 3 apiece for Sheldon Everhart. He is 1 for 1 from the line. Javen Wilmer is at 3 as well. He is 1 for 2 from that charity stripe. And then Kobe Bowen has a basket along with Jamison Matthew, both of them at 2. And Matt fouls 9-3 in favor of Hedgesville. And then Elijah King, my apologies, Elijah King also added a bucket.
All right, team numbers look like this. Martinsburg hit 6 threes, albeit 5 from Teddy Marshall. Just 2 threes for Hedgesville, and both of those from Evan Hoseby. Hedgesville 2 of 3 from the line, that's 67%. Martinsburg just 2 of 5 from the line, that's 40%. They were shooting a little bit better, they'd have an even larger lead. One area where the Dogs are really dominating on the boards, I've got 20-11. The rebounding edge for Martinsburg. 7-6 is the turnover edge for Martinsburg, +1. And fouls, how about 9 in the first half for Hedgesville, just 3 against Martinsburg. Now to that watch we were talking about, Matt.
The 1,000-point watch. It is for Teddy Marshall, who, by our calculations, is just 10 points away from having 1,000 career points here at Martinsburg. He currently sits, after the 19 points in the first half, at 990, in case you couldn't do that quick mental math with him needing 10.
Got it now, thank you. I will put my socks and shoes back on. I don't need to go that far in my digit counting. All right, Javen Wilmer going to trigger the inbounds. Hedgesville Eagle basketball. They're back to their starting five as Fry, Hosby, Wilmer, Everhart, and Matthew. No, it's Bowen on the floor, not Matthew. So Bowen gets the start in the second half. Wilmer from the right side will drain a three as Hedgesville looks for that deep ball, and they get a much-needed bucket. 32-21, that Martinsburg advantage. Dogs into the front court, and they do go back to their starting five, the only five that played in the first half. Stobbs with it on the right side of the floor. Gives it off to Teddy Marshall down along the baseline. Villa's out there, Sager and Anthony Smith as well. Teddy Marshall guarded by Javen Wilmer. Wants the screen and gets it from Telrin Villa. Now Teddy Marshall. A little crossover dribble, fires that three. It's off the rim, no good. A rebound controlled by Evan Hosby. Going to bring it up that far sideline. Around the screen set by Bowen, dribbling to his left. Gives it off to Wilmer. Wilmer fires a deep three, and it's off the front of the iron and the backboard, and the rebound to Teddy Marshall. You could see from our angle that one.
Yeah, that one's going to miss off the front of the iron. You could see when it left his hands that it was slicing right just a bit.
Anthony Smith starts a drive, turns, gives it off to Telrin Villa. Villa into the lane, loses the basketball. Wilmer comes away with it. Wilmer going to bring it into the front court and take it into the lane. He floats it up off the rim. Rebound tipped by Sager. Run down in the corner, but cannot save it. Out of bounds belonging to Hedgesville.
Great athleticism by Trey Sager, leaping over the bench.
The extended bench for the Hedgesville Eagles.
Perhaps all the way around the corner of the floor.
32-21, Martinsburg with the lead, Hedgesville with the ball. 30 seconds, well, a minute and 30, I should say, going by in quarter number 3. From the left wing, a three ball up and good for Evan Hosby, and he knocks one down.
He's now got 3 threes on the game. Had 2 in that first quarter, didn't score in the second. And now trying to start the second half the same way he did the first.
A 6-0 run for Hedgesville, and driving to the basket on the angle left side, it's Teddy Marshall drawing contact and the personal. It goes on Kobe Bowen. It'll be his second, and that will send Teddy Marshall to the line where he was 2 for 3 in that first half.
And Bowen didn't like the call. He looking around with his hands up going, I was moving my feet.
Free throw up, free throw good. 20 points now for Teddy Marshall, leading the way for the Dogs. 20 of the team's 33. This one rattles around a little bit, but circles the rim and drops through. 34-24.
Now Teddy just 8 away from 1,000.
Hosby with it, sending to Wilmer on that right side of the floor. Bowen wants it down in the paint as he's guarded by Marshall. Now a little bit of a switch off as Bowen tried to set the screen. Hosby with it on that right side of the floor. Lost his dribble, has to pick it up, and now has to get rid of it. Eventually gets it to Fry. Wilmer deeper on that right side of the floor. Working against Trey Sager. Gets to Fry in the corner. 3 ball on the way. Got it. Ryan Fry with his first bucket of the night. A 3 from the right corner. 34-27. The Martinsburg lead at 7.
Hedgesville hit 2 threes in the first half. They've already knocked down 3 threes to start this third quarter. We're not even 3 minutes in yet.
A 9-2 run to open this second half for Hedgesville. Teddy Marshall on the wing left side pulls up off the dribble. 16-footer off the back of the iron, and Everhart clears the rebound. Lob feed down the floor off the hand of Garrett Stobbs and out of bounds. Stobbs had no way of knowing it, but there was nobody there as that pass was intended for Evan Hosby, who had no chance to get to that ball.
No, it was Hosby down there along with Kobe Bowen, and if Everhart can get that ball down quicker, I think they have a good opportunity for a 2-on-1.
Hosby driving into the lane, banks it up and in, made some contact with Garrett Stobbs. No foul called as Stobbs hit the deck, hoping to draw the charge. 34-29, the Martinsburg lead now cut down to just 5.
And Kelly Church is furious. I think he should be happy there wasn't an offensive foul called there. That was the tail of the first half, it seemed like.
Nice drive by Anthony Smith down the right side of the lane. He kisses it high off the window. 36-29, that Martinsburg advantage. Wilmer the other way. Had his shot deflected by Anthony Smith. Rebound to Telrin Villa. Outlet to Teddy Marshall. Marshall to the rim. Spins it up. Wouldn't go. Kept alive by Sager. Loose ball grabbed by Everhart. Down the floor to Hosby. Back to Everhart. Layup good. Nice two-man basketball that time for Hedgesville, 36-31. That Bulldog lead again, cut down to 5.
And a great shot by Everhart. He had to really lean that right hand back. He was almost completely underneath the basket when he put that up.
Martinsburg resetting the offense. Head coach Dave Rogers on his feet with the offense right in front of him, barking out what he wants to see. And it's Anthony Smith again on the drive, taking it down the right side of the lane to the rim and laying it in. The Dogs are finding a mismatch there, and that's what Coach Rogers wanted.
And Jamison Matthew going to come back into the game. He really was a big factor down low for Hedgesville in that first half.
38-31, the Bulldog advantage. Javen Wilmer on the left side of the floor gives to Everhart. Deep three from the right side. It's off the front of the rim. He tries to save it from going out of bounds by bouncing it off of Garrett Stops, but Stops was able to grab it into the front court. The pass going to Teddy Marshall, but his pass is stolen. Steal for Javen Wilmer. Wilmer driving in on the left angle and a blocking foul on Teddy Marshall. Teddy Marshall put the hands up, but the feet were moving as he was kind of backpedaling when the contact was made. And Javen Wilmer will go to the line for 2.
Hedgesville as a team in the first half, 2 for 3 from the foul line. And this is the area of the game that you need to be able to knock down free throws. Score when the clock is not running.
And the foul shot comes off the side of the rim, no good. You look at the regular season meetings, Hedgesville was 15 of 19 and 3 of 4 from the line in those 2 games.
Wilmer now just 1 for 3 in the game. Make that now 1 for 4.
That one rolls out, and a great box out by Trey Sager. Sager's only got 2 points, but Matt, he's in double figures in rebounds. Stops from the right corner, open for 3. It's off the mark. I'm not sure that one even skimmed the rim. Rebound to Javen Wilmer, knocked away from behind, and will stay with Martinsburg as Anthony Smith was able to knock it off the leg of Wilmer.
Yeah, it went off of his thigh out of bounds. Referee's doing a good job of conversing with one another, making sure they get that one right, and now Coach Rogers wants a timeout. That'll be what I have as the second timeout called by Dave Rogers.
3:06 remaining, quarter number 3. Let's take the 30-second break as well. Back after this with Martinsburg up by 7.
Come ride with us and now ride more easily. Tired of hunting for the right change to get on the bus? Now you can use your smartphone to pay for all your trips when you ride with EPTA and get 50% off your first purchase. Text the word TOKEN, T-O-K-E-N, to 41411 for the download link and download the new Token Transit app, which is available in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Text TOKEN to 41411 and put the new Token Transit app to work for you when you ride with us.
The bus, come ride with us.
Matt Hedgesville with a 9-2 run that got this second half opened, and then it's been a little bit of an exchange of baskets over the last couple of possessions. And then as Martinsburg's lead cut from 14 down to 7, Bulldog basketball coming out of head coach Dave Rogers' second called timeout. Anthony Smith with it on the right side of the floor, giving in the corner to Teddy Marshall. Marshall maintaining his dribble on this right wing as he backs it out towards that midcourt stripe. And the Dogs regroup offensively. Villa comes out to set the screen. Marshall moving to his left, fires down low to an open Trey Sager layup good.
Everybody was so focused on Teddy Marshall and Teller and Villa. Trey Sager was able to sneak in the back door, and a very easy layup for Sager. He's now got 4 in the game.
40-31, that Bulldog advantage. Wilmer on the left side. He'll fire the 3. It's off the back rim, and Telrin Villa grabs the one-handed rebound.
Yeah, grabbed the rebound with that right hand and pinned it to his hip before giving it off to Teddy Marshall. See that leaping ability of Telrin Villa.
Marshall into the front court, dribbling to his right, got into the lane, put up the shot. It comes off the rim. Rebound got tipped. Marshall there for the rebound and put it up and in. Teddy Marshall rebounds his own miss. Was it Garrett Stobbs that kept it alive? I
believe it was Villa coming in on this near side, driving baseline, just trying to tip it back up. And the reason I'm saying that is I don't think, nothing against Garrett Stobbs, I don't think he can get that high towards the rim.
No, I couldn't tell. I just saw the white jersey but couldn't see who it was. Wilmer losing his footing as he drove in on the right angle, put up the shot short, and the rebound to Trey Sager, and a whistle and a foul before Sager can start up the floor. That may go on Javen Wilmer, and it will. His 3rd personal.
Now Wilmer going to come out of the game, and King, it's the freshman Elijah King, going to come back in. He saw a good amount of minutes in that first half.
Bulldog basketball with the lead at 42-31, a minute and 40 remaining in the third quarter. And right now the Bulldogs surviving that early run in this second half for Hedgesville. Anthony Smith pulls up for three from the right side. Got it. Smith hits his 13th three on the season. Matt, he's got 13 points on the night.
We said just about every time he knocks one down, but doesn't do it often, but has probably one of the best three-point percentages on the team. He chooses those threes wisely and usually knocks them down.
Everhart trying to drive the left baseline, has to pass it out to Hosby on the right wing, and he drops in a three-point jumper. 45-34, the Bulldog lead cut back to 11, and a timeout taken by Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church. Let's take the 60-second break as well. It's a full timeout with a minute 10 to play in the third, and Martinsburg leading 45-34.
Join us for the 25th annual 2020 Eastern Panhandle Home Builders Association Home Show, March 21 and 22 at the Berkeley Plaza, Martinsburg, with Saturday hours 10 a.m. to 7 and Sunday hours 10 a.m. until 4. The diamond sponsor is Pine Creek Structures, giving away an outdoor furniture set of a pub table and chairs carrying a lifetime guarantee. The platinum sponsors for the 2020 Home Show are Aspen Home Improvements, City National Bank, Luxury Bath Technologies, Rentals Unlimited, and Shenandoah Air Conditioning and Heating. The 2020 Home Show is the place to find home builders, remodelers, banks and lenders, landscape companies, heating and air conditioning contractors, and many other products just for you and your home, with over 130 companies displaying wonderful exhibits and great ideas. Gold sponsors for the 2020 Home Show include Age in Place Improvements, Corey's Construction, Dan Ryan Builders, H&H Well Drilling, and the Hornby Media Group. Admission is always free, so please stop by the Berkeley Plaza March 21 and 22, shop the exhibits, ask some questions, and get some information for your next project. For a complete list of vendors, visit ephomeshow.com.
All right, we are back here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Matt, you've got a scoring update from around the Mountain State.
Matt, let's go to the southern part of the state where it's Cabell Midland midway through the third quarter, up 37-36 over the Timberwolves of Spring Valley.
Sectional games going on all around the Mountain State tonight in Class AAA. Find out how all of them play out after we're done, 9 o'clock tonight. It's Basketball Friday nights in West Virginia. Bulldog basketball working into the front court. Trey Sager beyond the arc on this right wing. Bounces it to Teddy Marshall. Marshall giving it right back to Sager as he cut through the lane, and we got a whistle and a foul.
And that was probably the third foul that happened before that whistle blew. A lot of contact between Jamison Matthew and Trey Sager down low.
That's the second foul on Jamison Matthew, team's third in this third quarter. And so Garrett Stobbs will trigger the inbounds baseline right side. Looking, gets it into Teddy Marshall. Marshall with a pass, and hang on, we got a whistle away from the ball, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Trey Sager. He'll pick up his second. It's also a Bulldog turnover as Hedgesville will go the other way. Might have been an illegal screen working.
No, I think it was just the way the referee was indicating, just fighting for positioning.
Hosby at the top of the key, going to drive it down the right side of the lane. His layup attempt is short off that right side of the iron and the backboard, but we've got a whistle and a foul. Should be Garrett Stobbs who hit the deck. He was trying to draw the charge. Instead, Stobbs gets the blocking foul, and that's his first.
Fouls a little more even in this second half than they were in the first. Again, it was Hedgesville with 9 to just 3 for Martinsburg in that first half.
Hosby's foul shot rolls off the rim, no good. And for an Eagle team that's been down by, 14 at the half and still down right now by 11, they're 0 for 3 from the line in this second half, and now make it 1 for 4 as Hosby does get this one to go. Hosby leads the way. He likes playing here at the Fieldhouse. We mentioned 23 here the first time these teams met. He's got 15 to pace the Eagles in this one.
And Matt, 35 seconds down on a running third quarter clock. If I'm Martinsburg, I'm not giving Hedgesville another opportunity. That's a backcourt violation. Teddy Marshall putting that right foot back as if he was getting ready to start drive up that far side, and that heel went in the backcourt. I know you hate that rule. You think the basketball's got to go back, but it is the rule, and that's a good call by our official right at midcourt. It was about half of the right foot of Teddy Marshall going in the backcourt.
I don't dispute the call as being the right call.
You just dislike that is the call.
I dispute the rule. It's got to be the basketball, not the player going into that backcourt. Hosby from the right side. He'll fire a three. It's an air ball short. Rebound, Garrett Stobbs. Outlet, Anthony Smith. Down the floor to Teddy Marshall. Marshall to the rim, and the layup good. Teddy Marshall puts it in, 47-35. Martinsburg back the other way. Everhart driving down the baseline, left side, went to the right hand for the shot. He banked it in, and there was a Bulldog foul. Wow, end-to-end basketball to close out this third period. That foul on Martinsburg's Anthony Smith, his second.
And we ain't closing out yet. 9.4 still on the clock.
Everhart had a three-point play back in that second quarter, trying to do it again here. Free throw up, free throw good. He's got 8 points for Hedgesville, 47-37. Boy, that is huge.
A couple of substitutions for Kelly Church. And Matt, you would imagine that it would have to be Teddy Marshall or Anthony Smith getting this last shot.
Inbounds to Anthony Smith across that midcourt stripe. Anthony Smith down the right side of the lane. Nobody stops him. He goes right to the rim and puts it up and in. Wow. 49-37. Martinsburg with the lead as we will go into quarter number 4. Back after this 60-second break, it's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10.
Shouldn't it be 49-38?
That's what I'm thinking too.
February means Valentine's, and Valentine's means sweet deals all month long at Apple Valley Chevy Toyota in Martinsburg. Get a 2020 Toyota Camry XSE with up to $4,050 off MSRP. How about a 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD off-road with up to $1,960 off MSRP? Get up to $9,400 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Trax, or up to $9,800 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Equinox. Stop in to Apple Valley Chevy Toyota on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg today and check out the sweet Valentine savings. Find out more online at applevalleytoyota.com or applevalleychevy.com, a part of the Miller Auto Group, where it's always a better deal. Price does not include tax, title tax, and processing fees. Savings based on Camry stock number 20T585, RAV4 stock number 20T521, Trax stock number 20C197, Equinox stock number 20C541. See dealer for details.
Well, we've got a score in our scoring sheets, and we've checked it out up here. Rick Kozlowski with the Journal has it. You and I both have it, and now they have it on the scoreboard as they do put up that free throw from Sheldon Everhart. It's actually 49-38 as we go into quarter number 4. By the way, the Teddy Marshall 1,000-point watch down to 4. Marshall has it. Down the left side of the lane, off-balance shot. He hits the deck at the end of the play. He'll get 2 free throws as Jamison Matthew picks up his third personal.
And expect that 1,000-point watch to get even lower as Marshall is an 81% free throw shooter, make that 4 for 5 on the night so far.
Marshall with a season high of 38 earlier this year. Had a season high last year of 24. He has had a very strong senior season. This foul shot up and good. 26 on the night for him. 15 points leads the way for Hedgesville, and that's Evan Hosby. 8 then for Sheldon Everhart. Marshall puts this one through. He's now got 27. Anthony Smith also has 15 for the Bulldogs. 51-38, the Martinsburg advantage. Hosby at the top of the key. Nice little crossover dribble, got into the lane, but the basketball is free, and we'll have a held ball as Telrin Villa went down to the ground, tying up Evan Hosby. Possession arrow stays with Hedgesville. Eagle basketball, and we'll get a little wet spot off the floor after the 2 guys on the hardwood.
No towel needed, just kick it with your foot a couple of times.
That usually helps.
Yep.
Inbounds pass, Wilmer looking, baseline left side, still looking, eventually lobs it out to Jamison Matthew. He'll wait for Hosby to come out and take it. Under 7.5 to play in this one. Hosby dribbling to his left, turns, gives to Wilmer. Good defense by Martinsburg. Wilmer started left, comes back right, and a carrying violation. Don't see that in the game often anymore.
I was going to say, usually it's got to be pretty blatantly obvious that it was a carry. To me, that looked like just about any other drive for a point guard trying to go around some picks at the top of the key. And Matt, we're through 3 full quarters. Martinsburg has yet to have anybody take the warm-up jacket off of the bench. The starting 5 have been the only 5 tonight for the Dogs. Great crossover by Anthony Smith.
And he gives it off to the cutter down the right baseline. Trey Seger, and the lay-in is good. Boy, Anthony Smith has been unstoppable in this one. scoring and dishing.
And the defensive side of the football, or the basketball.
He's a pretty good football player.
I was going to say, good football player, but wrong sport.
Hedgesville just doesn't have an answer for him right now. Ryan Fry with it in the offensive end, 53-38, that Bulldog advantage. Hosby with it on the sideline right in front of that Hedgesville bench, dribbling to his right. Turns and gives to Wilmer. His left side. 3 up and good. Javen Wilmer drops it in. His second 3 of the night. He's got 9 points. And with the made bucket, a timeout for head coach Kelly Church and the Eagles. Looks like this will be a 30-second timeout. Matt, we will keep it here. Say thanks to our sponsors, Miller Honda of Winchester, Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial, Smallwood Small Insurance, Parsons Ford, Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, and D&N Auto. Thanks to our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school boys basketball all season long here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Matt, through 3 quarters down in Shenandoah Junction, it is Jefferson 53, Washington 51. So the Cougars battling back to take a 2-point lead after being down at the half. So that should be a good one down the stretch. We'll hopefully have the final of that one, as it is right around the same timing as ours. Hopefully have the final of that one before we sign off tonight.
Coming out of that Hedgesville timeout, Martinsburg basketball. I've got Martinsburg with 3 timeouts left, Hedgesville with 2, and the Dogs working a pass that was stops, trying to get it in the lane to Sager.
It was a good idea, just a little bit behind on the pass. Sager having to go back for it, and a couple of gold jerseys right there to take it away, but a good idea by Garrett Stops.
Jamison Matthew got that steal, and now Everhart in the front court slowing things down. Martinsburg up by 12. Still plenty of time, 6 minutes and counting. And Hedgesville can't take too much time. Driving into the lane, Hosby ran over the top of Trey Sager, and it's an offensive foul on Evan Hosby, his 3rd. Turnover number 10 now on Hedgesville. Garrett Stobbs will work the inbounds to Anthony Smith, length of the floor to go.
And Matt, at some point soon, if Hedgesville is going to have any shot of winning this game, they're going to need a quick 6, 8, 10-0 run. Right now, just kind of trading baskets, and Martinsburg even getting a lot of 2-for-1s.
Anthony Smith open left side. He'll fire the 3. It's off the rim, no good. Jamison Matthew clears the rebound, giving the outlet to Everhart up the near side, working towards the middle of the floor. Got into the lane and then lost it. Easy steal for Anthony Smith. Smith goes coast to coast, and his layup is good.
Getting the bounces, too. That one rolled around and looked like it may fall off the left side of the iron, but the way he's shooting tonight got that one to fall.
17 now for Anthony Smith. Hosby from straight away. He fires a 3, missed it wide to the left. A rebound to Matthew, and Jamison Matthew gets the put-in baskets.
Man, I will say these baskets being friendly on both sides. Seen a lot of balls hang on the iron, and most of them have fallen tonight.
Teddy Marshall into the lane, feeds down low to Telrin Villa. Bowen blocked the shot. Coming out of there with it is Wilmer. Wilmer up that far side. He'll stop, fire the 3. It's off the back rim. Rebound Everhart, put back, wouldn't go this time. Telrin Villa clears it. Bulldog basketball and a foul on Hedgesville as Villa works up the floor. That foul on 1 of 5. Sheldon Everhart, just his second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 team fouls. So the Bulldogs will inbound. The next Hedgesville foul going to put Martinsburg into the bonus. 27 right now for Teddy Marshall. We would have him 2 shy of reaching 1,000. Pass intended for Marshall on that left side from Anthony Smith, knocked out of bounds by a hustling Evan Hosby. We've got a whistle and a timeout. Let's see. I believe that one's going to be taken by Martinsburg. Yep. It's a full timeout, so we'll take the 60-second break as well. 4:48 remaining in this one. Martinsburg out in front, 55-43.
Hey, John Orem, I hear you're running for sheriff of Berkeley County. Can you tell me why the community should stand with you?
Sure, you know we're stronger when we stand together, right? When we leave people behind, we suffer. When we work together to solve our problems, we prosper, correct?
True.
I'm for a county that embraces good community values. Let's leave the go-it-alone mentality behind.
The go-it-alone mentality?
Let me explain. A sheriff cannot serve a community effectively without the involvement of the people.
It's time we elect a sheriff that's going to serve our community. John Orem, you have my vote.
Paid for by candidate.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Zach Van Meter, our TV10 cameraman, Eric Sterick, our engineer, back at the studio. 4:48 left in this sectional championship game. Martinsburg with a 55-43 lead, and they've got the basketball coming out of the Dave Rogers timeout.
Looks like Hedgesville is going to put on a little trap in the front court. Try to get a couple of quick turnovers.
And the Dogs passing over top of that right now. Smith with it on the near wing, puts it on the floor, drives to the right side of the lane, and now going to back it out. He lobs a pass to Teddy Marshall on that far sideline. Double team comes to him. He splits it, gets into the lane, feeds it off to Garrett Stobbs. Stobbs, though, couldn't handle it cleanly. Has to pass it back out top to Anthony Smith.
I'm not sure he knew it was coming. It was a no-look pass from Teddy Marshall. Garrett Stobbs, and then going in more, trying to get the putback if it was a miss.
Trey Sager with a nice pass down low to Telrin Villa. Double clutches to put it up and in, and now Anthony Smith knocks it away from Javen Wilmer at the midcourt stripe and out of bounds, staying with Hedgesville.
And Matt, Telrin Villa is just not playing his best basketball against Hedgesville this year. He is 5 points early. Then that was his first basket of the second half. He's got just 7.
Checking into the lineup, Adam Walls, 5'9", a sophomore for Hedgesville. 57-43, the Bulldog lead. Eagle basketball halfway through quarter number 4. Pass in the lane, Jamison Matthew open on the back door, cutting the layup good. Nice pass from the sophomore Walls.
Matthew now has 6 in the game, 4 in this second half.
Bulldog basketball, Anthony Smith avoiding the double team with a pass across court to Teddy Marshall. Down to Villa in the left corner. Passes back out on that right wing to Anthony Smith, again to Teddy Marshall. Anthony Smith spinning away from Everhart, gives to Garrett Stobbs. Right side 3 on the way. Got it. Garrett Stobbs' first bucket of the night. His 26th 3 of the season. 60-45 Martinsburg.
And Matt, you hate to say that was the dagger, but that one certainly hurts, the way that Hedgesville has struggled to consistently score the basketball tonight. Now a 15-point game, just a few ticks over 3 minutes left. That was a huge shot for Garrett Stobbs.
Hosby driving down the left side of the lane, had the ball poked away as he was going up, but it was poked by Telrin Villa, who also got him on the arm. Villa picks up his first, just team foul number 5, so it will be, a shot opportunity. So they will say that Hosby was going up for the shot.
Hosby 1 for 2 from the line tonight.
Free throw, good. He's got 16 points, still the leading scorer right now for Hedgesville. Teddy Marshall for Martinsburg leads all scorers with 27. A bucket away from reaching 1,000. He needed 29 on the night. Came in with 971 on his career. Both foul shots good for Hosby. 60-47. The Martinsburg lead cut to 13. Substitution time as Naheem Romans comes on for Hedgesville. Inbounds going to Teddy Marshall to Anthony Smith. Smith into the front court, dribbles through some traffic, gives to Telrin Villa in the right corner. He's going to bring it back out on the wing, guarded by King, and a reach-in foul on Elijah King. That'll be his first, team foul number 7, sends Telrin Villa to the line for the front end of the 1-and-1. Villa has not attempted a free throw tonight, but he has been there a few times this season. Leads the team, 79 makes in 113 attempts. Villa at the line waiting as Sheldon Everhart comes in for Adam Walls. Elijah King went to the paint, now backs out. All the while, Villa just saying, can I shoot my free throw? And he does, and he makes it. He's got 8 points on the night. 61-47, the Martinsburg advantage. Villa's second free throw on the way, rolls around the rim and out. Bowens clears the rebound. Hedgesville ball into the front court. Everhart on the left sideline. Gives it off on that sideline to King. Back out top to Hosby. Hosby to the top of the key, giving to Everhart. Hedgesville being patient with only 2:30 left and down 61-47.
Yeah, they got to put a shot up here, or at least drive towards the basket, try to draw a foul.
And that's what Everhart does down the right side of the lane. He bumped into Stobbs, but was able to bank it in off the glass. Everhart in double figures with 10. 61-49. The Martinsburg lead. Anthony Smith into the front court. Wow, could have been a foul there. Everhart looked like he got him. Instead, the pass goes to Teddy Marshall. And Marshall fouled deep in the front court, and he will go to the line.
Will it be from the charity stripe that he gets to 1,000?
He is 6 for 7 from the line tonight. It's the front end of the 1-and-1.
So you're telling me that there's a decent possibility he could knock down a pair here?
The way he's been shooting them, he's made 5 in a row.
He's at 998 career points total here at Martinsburg.
And the foul shot rattles around but drops through. Boy, that hit about every part of the rim.
Yep.
And now the golden shots for Teddy Marshall. 62-49, the Martinsburg lead with 2:12 left. Free throw on the way. He got it, and it's 1,000 points for Teddy Marshall. 63-49, Martinsburg with the lead. And back the other way, Everhart driving in on the left baseline, going for a reverse layup, was fouled by the aforementioned Teddy Marshall. He'll pick up his third, and listen to the crowd cheering on Teddy Marshall as he goes over 1,000 points. Last to do it in a Bulldog uniform, Corey Barnett. At the end of the 2017-18 season, he finished with 1,057 points. Jarrell Jones, who's now down at Shepherd, he had 1,482 career points as he wrapped up his career in 2014. Teddy Marshall going to get a wrist. It looks like bandaged up just a little bit.
And Matt, we have, because of some blood, we're going to have a substitute come in for Teddy Marshall.
Free throw for Everhart amidst all of the other action going on. He puts it up and through. He's 3 for 3 from the line. This one is good also. 12 points now for Sheldon Everhart. 63-51 Martinsburg as we are now under 2 minutes to play. Trey Sager at the top of the key and amidst a triple team, works it off to Telrin Villa. Villa's pass out top, knocked into the air by Hosby, stolen by Wilmer. Wilmer into the front court, has his pocket picked by Trey Sager. Sager able to give it to Garrett Stobbs. Stobbs driving in on the right angle, banks it up, and they'll call a charge on Garrett Stobbs as Jamison Matthew was apparently able to get back in time to get his feet set.
Matt, he was moving. That's an interesting call. It certainly looked like it was good defense, I thought, by Jamison Matthew. I didn't really see a whole lot of contact other than with the body on both sides going up with the shot, but it certainly looked like his feet were sliding.
He saves 2 points, though, for Hedgesville. They need a bucket. Hosby in the front court from the left side, firing the three. It rattles in and out, no good. Sager high into the air. He's got another rebound.
And Matt, Hedgesville just slowly running out of time here in this game.
Yeah, Anthony Smith into the front court being harassed. Sends a pass on that far side. Teddy Marshall has it, and he's fouled on the play. He was falling into the backcourt and was just trying to get rid of it as Evan Hosby was charging in hard after the basketball collided, and that'll send Marshall back to the line. Hosby has his fourth foul, stops the clock with 1:25 left, and it may be too little too late right now for Hedgesville. It's hard to imagine overcoming a 12-point deficit with just 1:25 left, and right now Teddy Marshall trying to make that hole a little deeper.
Yeah, Matt, they've only scored they haven't scored 12 points in a quarter other than once in this game, and that was in quarter number 3.
Yeah, that was the 20-point third quarter.
Yeah, so hard to imagine 12 points in a minute and 25 seconds, but hey, it's high school basketball. Anything can happen.
They've scored 13 points so far in the fourth quarter, so to score 12 more in a minute and 25 would be a lot.
Would be an accomplishment, to say the least.
Teddy Marshall at the line. Free throw up, free throw good. Well, you talk about the shooter's touch. He has it, doesn't he? As that ball touches just literally every part of the rim. Now we have a whistle. And we have two officials getting together for a quick conversation. The free throw is good. Head coach Kelly Church talking with one of the other officials. Now head coach Dave Rogers coming out.
I mean, why is he that far away from the bench?
Yeah,
I think that's what Coach Rogers is saying right now. There's not a meeting with the officials and the head coaches. I don't see a reason that Coach Church needs to be that far away from his bench at this point of the game.
or why both coaches need to be out for a conversation. It's pretty straightforward. There was a foul, and now Coach Rogers and Coach Church in conversation with two officials down at the midcourt stripe.
There's just no reason for this at this juncture of the game.
There's not. Nice job by the Martinsburg folks at the scorer's table with the Jeopardy theme playing in the background. The conversation still continuing with Kelly Church. Coach Rogers talking to the scorers at the scorer's table. That free throw is good, and now we're going to get a timeout taken by head coach Kelly Church. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take just 30 and then be back with 1:25 remaining in this one. Back in 30 with Martinsburg up by 13.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
7.
Well, just by one.
Yep.
Cabell Midland, 58-57. Anything on University of Morgantown? Welcome back in as we're efforting scores from around the Mountain State. Cabell Midland got the win over Spring Valley, 58-57 in that sectional championship game down in Region 4. We were efforting the Morgantown University score.
The Washington game, Jalen Wright makes it 71-69. Patriots with less than a minute left, so that one is going to be fun down the stretch.
Wow, so once again, 71-69.
So they've really been within about 2 points of each other the entire way. Each basket very valuable in that game.
All right, Teddy Marshall going to the line where he will try to make the second of his 2 free throws. Foul shot up, foul shot good. So he gets them both, and the Bulldog lead is 65-51. Into the front court, Elijah King for Hedgesville. Giving a pass off to Walls on this near side. He's going to drive that left baseline. Kick out in the corner, right corner 3 for Gerald Jones. Rejected out of bounds by Teddy Marshall. Teddy Marshall, by the way, 31 points now on the night, so 1,002 on the career.
Didn't want to just sit at 1,000. Wanted to make sure he got into those 4 digits a little bit.
Jones on that far side works his way down to the baseline, turns and puts up the jumper. Came off the side of the backboard. He was under just a little bit too far. Another rebound for Sager. Quickly just touched it to Anthony Smith. Now the Dogs into the front court with under a minute left.
And I think Jones let go of that basketball before he'd even completely turned around.
Teddy Marshall with it on that far side, guarded by Gerald Jones. And now Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers going to burn a timeout. He's only got a full timeout left. So again, let's take 30, and then we will return to the Fieldhouse. A 30-second break with 47 seconds left in the game, and Martinsburg up by 14.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Now the Martinsburg Bulldogs looking to claim the sectional championship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a 6th consecutive year. Yeah, wanted to go back and make sure. Washington topping Hedgesville 76-45 in 2014 for that sectional championship. Since then, Paul Martinsburg, Avion Blackwell taking the inbounds as the Bulldogs make a complete line change to Luke Fowler out to Kamarion Dow. Jarvis Thurston, Cyril Ngasa all out there as well. 35 seconds left. Kamarion Dow giving to Blackwell deep on that left wing. Blackwell controlling the dribble. Adam Walls comes out to guard him. Luke Fowler pops out to take it to Kamarion Dow between the circles, dribbling to his left, now back to his right. Guarded by King. He switches over, gets into the lane, has the basketball poked away, and it's stolen. Grabbing that one was Romans, and Romans going to go coast to coast. Left hands it up. Wouldn't go. Walls there for the putback basket. First two for Adam Walls. The Bulldogs very slowly working the inbounds to Fowler. Fowler going to give it off to Thurston. Thurston in the backcourt has it taken away as the horn sounds, and your final score, Martinsburg 65, Hedgesville 53, as the Bulldogs claim their AAA Region 2 Section 1 championship and pick up their 7th consecutive victory. They're now 20-3. It's the 13th straight win in this series. Hedgesville has a 3-game winning streak snapped as they will fall to 19-5. We'll get into our post-game show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial after we take a 2-minute timeout. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNRN TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Join us for the 25th Annual 2020 Eastern Panhandle Home Builders Association Home Show, March 21 and 22 at the Berkeley Plaza, Martinsburg, with Saturday hours 10 a.m. to 7 and Sunday hours 10 a.m. until 4. The diamond sponsor is Pine Creek Structures, giving away an outdoor furniture set of a pub table and chairs carrying a lifetime guarantee. The platinum sponsors for the 2020 Home Show are Aspen Home Improvements, City National Bank, Luxury Bath Technologies, Rentals Unlimited, and Shenandoah Air Conditioning and Heating. The 2020 Home Show is the place to find home builders, remodelers, banks and lenders, landscape companies, heating and air conditioning contractors, and many other products just for you and your home, with over 130 companies displaying wonderful exhibits and great ideas. Gold sponsors for the 2020 Home Show include Age in Place Improvements, Corey's Construction, Dan Ryan Builders, H&H Well Drilling, and the Hornby Media Group. Admission is always free, so please stop by the Berkeley Plaza March 21 and 22, shop the exhibits, ask some questions, and get some information for your next project. For a complete list of vendors, visit ephomeshow.com.
We welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Zach Van Meter running our TV 10 camera. Eric Sterick, our producer-engineer, back at the studio. Get well wishes quickly to John Alderton, who is at home fighting off that flu bug like I'm sure so many others who may be watching tonight's telecast. Well, Matt, as we get into the postgame, a reminder it's brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors. Phil McCoy and John Everson. You can call Ameriprise at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. As we got this one underway, Martinsburg on an 8-0 run. Hedgesville comes back and scores 8 of the next 11 points to get within 3 at 11-8. The final 6 points of the first quarter belong to the Bulldogs as Martinsburg leads 17-8. In quarter number 2, the Dogs add to that lead, outscoring Hedgesville 15-10, and Martinsburg is in front by 14 in the at the half, 32-18 at that point. Start of the second half, though, Hedgesville went on a nice run, a 9-2 run, but they just couldn't get it any closer as Martinsburg pulled right back out. Hedgesville still outscored Martinsburg by 3, 20-17 in that third quarter. But that meant the Eagles were still down by double digits, 11 going into the fourth quarter. And in the end, Martinsburg adds to that lead, outscoring the Eagles 16-15 over the final 8 minutes. And the Dogs win by 12, 65-53.
Yeah, Matt, take away a run for Hedgesville in each half, and this game is a lot wider of a margin. It was a a valiant effort for Hedgesville on those 2 runs, but there was only 1 in each half and just too big of a deficit to come back from. And you could tell just not real comfortable offensively tonight. You never got the sense that they were doing what their game plan was offensively. A lot of one-and-dones, a lot of quick 4 shots, and Martinsburg able to do it for the most part with their starting 5. Because of some blood, we saw Jarvis Thurston come in for Teddy Marshall for just about 10 seconds of game time, and then the line change, bringing all 5 in off the bench late in the game. But for the most part, it was the starting 5 and really the only 5 for Martinsburg offensively and defensively that led them to a sectional championship.
Yeah, very strong effort tonight for Teddy Marshall and for Anthony Smith with points, but you look at what Trey Sager and Telrin Villa did on the defensive end and in rebounding, and everybody contributed in this one out of that starting 5 tonight for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. The Dogs get the win 65-53, and that means they will be home next Tuesday in a regional final. Hedgesville is not eliminated. They will go on the road for a regional final next Tuesday. We'll tell you who those opponents will be coming up in just a minute on our postgame show. Right now we take a 60-second break. On the other side of the break, we'll run the numbers from this one. It's West Virginia High School boys playoff basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, time for us to take a look at the numbers from this one as we welcome you back into the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Postgame Show. Just like at the half, the postgame numbers brought to you by former Hedgesville standout, now candidate for governor, Mike Folk. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at folk4wv.com. Paid for by Michael Folk for governor. Matt, individuals.
They look like this, starting with Martinsburg. 6 points for Trey Sager. He went 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. 8 points for Telrin Villa, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 3 for Garrett Stobbs, 17 for Anthony Smith, and the newest member of the 1,000-point club finishing with 31 points, including a 10 of 11 effort from the free throw line, Teddy Marshall. For Hedgesville, leading the way for them, 17 points for Evan Hosby. He had 6 in the first half, 11 in the second half. The only other player in double figures was Sheldon Everhart. He had 12 after only having 3 in quarters 1 and 2 combined. 9 points for Javen Wilmer, 6 for Jameson Matthew, then a couple of buckets for a couple of different players. 3 for Ryan Fry, 2 for Elijah King, 2 for Adam Walls, and 2 for Kobe Bowen. Those are your individual numbers in this one.
All right, some team totals. Martinsburg knocked in 8 3-pointers. Hedgesville answered with 7 of their own. The Bulldogs were 11 of 15 from the charity stripe. That's 73%. Hedgesville 8 of 12. That is 67%. 17 fouls committed by Hedgesville tonight. 10 by Martinsburg. I've got the Bulldogs. These are unofficial numbers, but out-rebounding Hedgesville 31-22. And the Bulldogs actually commit more turnovers, 14 compared to Hedgesville's 12. The Bulldogs, with their 7th straight win, pick up their 20th win on the season. And for the Bulldogs, as we take a look back, that is now the 3rd straight year and the 4th time in 5 years that this Bulldog program has hit the 20-win plateau. Hedgesville falling to 19-5 with the loss. That is a look at the numbers brought to you by Mike Folk for governor. Find out more about his campaign at Folk, the number 4, wv.com. We'll wrap up our Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Postgame show. When we come back, we'll name our player of the game. You may already know it. And we've got some other scores from not only over in Section 2, but elsewhere around the Mountain State. We'll check in on those games and set you up for the regional finals coming up next Tuesday. That when we return, it's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Howdy, cowpokes. Do your business cards look like they were designed by a code roper? Well, this cowboy knows the advantage of dealing with folks the old-fashioned way. When you order printed material on the internet, you're stuck with what you get. But when you need printed material to look just right, you want to deal with folks you know. And that's what you'll find at Panhandle Printing and Design. Local folks that have been delivering results for years. They can help with everything from design to production of stationery envelopes, business cards, invitations, vinyl signs, banners, vehicle wraps, and a lot more. They can answer all your printing questions, and you can call them on the phone or hop on your horse and go see them, because they're your one-stop printing shop where they have something for everyone. Panhandle Printing and Design at 124 North Maple Avenue in Martinsburg. Call 304-267-7400. You can even find them online, too, if you want to. If you need printed materials, don't deal with some city slicker you'll never meet. Trust the folks at Panhandle Printing and Design.
Hey, John Orem, I hear you're running for sheriff of Berkeley County. Can you tell me why the community should stand with you?
Sure, you know we're stronger when we stand together, right? When we leave people behind, we suffer. When we work together to solve our problems, we prosper, correct?
True.
I'm for a county that embraces good community values. Let's leave the go-it-alone mentality behind.
The go-it-alone mentality?
Let me explain. A sheriff cannot serve a community effectively without the involvement of the people.
It's time we elect a sheriff that's going to serve our community. John Orem, you have my vote.
Paid for by candidate.
Delay. We'll give you some of those scores that we are already aware of in just a moment, but right now, Matt, we need to name our player of the game officially.
Teddy Marshall.
There you go.
But a very, very close honorable mention to Anthony Smith.
Yeah, Anthony had a very good game. We said it in the pregame. He's been the most consistent of the players on either team in this matchup this year, and so far Hedgesville just has not been able to find a way to match up with him.
Yeah, they don't have Anthony Smith that goes 6'1", and it isn't overly stocky, but has a nice build to him, and he's a difficult matchup if you don't have somebody with the same body build that's as athletic as Anthony Smith. And it's been hard for a bunch of teams in the Eastern Panhandle to find somebody that matches up with him, especially when you got to try and guard guys like Teddy Marshall and Telrin Villa. It's been a very tough one-on-one matchup for teams against Anthony Smith.
Well, and Teddy Marshall, 22 points the first time these teams met, had just 7 out at Hedgesville tonight, goes for 31. He has certainly played well against the Eagles this season, and Teddy Marshall right now at 1,002 career points, having reached that 1,000-point mark at the 2:12 moment of quarter number 4 in this one tonight. All right, there it is. Our player of the game, Teddy Marshall. Let's check on some other scores, and we got to start over in Section 2. You said it was going to go down to the finish, and it did between Washington and Jefferson.
73-72, the Patriots getting the win, but a very strong effort by Jefferson. You wondered how they were going to come out after having a substantial amount of time off, and that was really trading buckets back and forth. Every time we checked in on that one, it never seemed to get more than about a 4-point game, so each basket very, very valuable, and Washington will stay home, and they will host the Hedgesville Eagles.
Washington has now won 6 straight games and 7 of their last 8 to close out the regular season and now into the postseason. Very, very strong. Jefferson, meanwhile, has dropped 6 games in a row and not going to be easy. They really haven't been close in their 2 matchups with the Martinsburg Bulldogs, and that is exactly where Jefferson will come, right here to the Fieldhouse on Tuesday night, as Martinsburg will host Jefferson while Hedgesville will go to Washington. We got some other scores?
We do have some other scores. University in Morgantown, ouch. If you're a fan of the Morgantown Mohegans, all University in that one, 108-57. Cabell Midland beating Spring Valley 58-57. GW all over St. Albans tonight, 69-54. Wheeling Park beating John Marshall 65-38, and Beckley Woodrow Wilson beating Princeton by 4, 68-64.
All right, there you go. Again, more scores coming up at 9 with Basketball Friday nights in West Virginia. That is going to wrap it up for us here at the Fieldhouse this evening. Thanks going to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school boys basketball. We thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks goes out to Athletic Director Brian Sine and Davis Moore, the two working together right now here at Martinsburg in that capacity. And thanks to all the staff and the folks here at the Fieldhouse for their help and support with our broadcast coverage. Thanks to Eric Sterick. He is our studio producer back at the studios on Eagle School Road. Thanks as well to Zach Van Meter running our TV10 camera this evening. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller reminding you tonight's final score. It's Martinsburg winning the sectional championship, beating Hedgesville 65-53. Until Tuesday and the regional finals, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.